Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Pillars of Eternity. In the last episode we entered the catacombs of Defiance Bay and found our way to Temple of Woedica, which apparently wasn't as abandoned as I thought it would be. There were lots of mercenaries in there, whom I assume were hired by the Ledenki cultists to guard the temple or whatever. But whatever the case, we killed them all. And during our time there in Temple of Woedica, we learned that there's supposed to be a secret switch or button or some hidden mechanic we need to use in order to open this door so we can enter this tower here. And that's pretty much it really. Well, we also did get some leather from I don't actually even remember whom we got the leather from. Let's check the name real fast. Siege of Crackhold. The steward of Kaidnua has informed me of a recent conflict on a remote bluff in the Deerwood. The torn bannermen fear the collection of mercenaries have besieged the manor of a local legend, the Archmage Conkelhort. The conflict is over a mysterious magical artifact. The steward believes I should investigate the problem to ensure the safety of Kaidnua. Well, it wasn't this one. What was it again? Oh, it was this. To Kran's Battery. A letter has arrived at Kaidnua, addressed to its new ruler. The steward believes it may present an interesting opportunity. So we got a letter from someone in the major Redden Guild from Stalwart. So we got a letter from him, but as you can see, it's the White March, the expansion sets content. So I'm not gonna bother myself with this for now. I want to beat the main game first before I actually go to the White March. So yeah, that's basically all what happened and what we did in the last episode. Now, without further ado, let's enter the tower.
Just say the word.
There we go, now we got actually some options here. The massive door of the tower is sealed, and there doesn't appear to be any way of opening it. Speak the words you learned from the Ledenki Acolyte. You hear rumbles and clangs from hidden tumblers as the door unlocks. Now let's continue then. So we basically saw some sort of a past life or whatever, or of some dead acolyte, if I'm not mistaken, and through that vision we learn how to open this door.
I'm on it.
Oh, and there's some ghouls already. Go to the top of the tower and Hated Hill. Alright, let's do that. After we have killed these ghouls. You are there, alright. Go and knock this one down. Brolvia, you go and focus on this one as well. I'm actually also... I would really like to test these new spells I got in last time as well, but I think I'm gonna save these. And then you... I guess you can just go and attack him with Brolvia. And I don't want to use buffs or anything just yet, unless there's 3 or 4 more of those ghouls in the fog of war that I can see right now. And Winky, I think it would be better if you just stay there for now. And you and when the time comes, you go and flank someone.
Hey.
Ah, there we go. There we go. Let's buff everyone's. Just oh wait, they're just simple ghouls. It shouldn't be that hard. I want to attack the skeletal wizard with Winky.
Sure.
So let's do just that. Attack this, and let's see who is where. And you're already using that, alright. Just let's use this because this has bigger radius. Holy fuck! Did you see how fast Winky nuked that wizard? Her damage is out of this world, really. And Durance is in a bit of trouble again. I guess it's better if you... wait, who is closer to Durance? You. And I guess you can knock one of these things down. Like this one. There we go, easy peasy. But I really love Winky. She's so fucking powerful. She's perhaps my most powerful class cannon in my party right now. And playing rogues is fun in general. Alright, now what do we have here? Anything interesting on this table? Crumpled page from Althelm's journal. Day 7. A week of study and we are still none the wiser about this device. Trident remains optimistic. I don't know what I would do without his spirit. And this one? Trident's letter. Dearest mother and father, you will be pleased to hear that I have learned much already since coming to the city. There are many incredible ruins nearby, and Master Craig has allowed me to accompany him on a number of expeditions. I'm writing to you from inside an ancient Engwithian tower. There's an entire district built up around it, but the locals have mostly left the tower untouched. They have let us set up temporary living quarters here so our work can continue uninterrupted. It is an unsettling place at times, but Master Craig has been a constant comfort, and he's quick to remind me that the things we learn from this tower may one day help us find a cure for Waitwind's legacy. I had better get some rest now. Mr. Craig likes to get an early start to the day. All my love, Trintic. Alright, was a nice letter. Shame that it was never sent.
Just say the word.
Anything else? Comfortable bed. The mattress is lumpy and smells of old straw, but whoever slept here last made it neatly. Yes. Essence shimmers and pulsates within the strange device. Oh, there's more revenants or zombies. And go to the right position. There we go. Because I want the tank to go first because of this. Skeletal fighters. There we go. Winky, you stay here. Oh shit, that hurt. That actually freaking hurt. Go and nuke this wizard. Not except that you can't apparently. Use this quickly because we want to heal Pallegina. And you use this spell against those. Can't you really go in there? Oh, not you. Winky.
Hey there.
The pattern of this game.
Yeah? You better run!
Winky, just go and murder it.
Sure.
Yeah, the pattern of this game is not the best. Nice loot there. And Pallegina. And it looks like, holy shit, 3 of our characters got a level. Well, fuck yes, we're gonna give them better stats and talents and abilities, whatever is available to us. So, for you, athletics would make sense, of course, because you are a tank, so I'm gonna do just that. And save these 2 other points. Maybe next time we are gonna add more to the athletics, so it's 10. Or possibly the survival. Now let's see. Vigorous defense. The fighter becomes fiercely determined to deflect all incoming blows, dramatically increasing all defenses for a short time. And this is once per encounter. This sounds very good. Armored Grace. The fighter is perfectly suited to wear even bulky and restrictive suits of armor, lowering their recovery penalty significantly. So, minus 20% armor speed penalty. So he's So basically, with this, Eder would have more accuracy and possibility of more damage with critical hits because he has higher chances to crits. That sounds very nice too. Weapon specialization, Adventurer. So basically, 15% more damage with Poleaxe, Stoic. I don't even know what Stock is. Flail, Wand, Warbow. Not for you. Knight, Battle Axe, Sword, Morning Star, Crossbow. Wait, it says Flail, so it's this weapon basically. Daggers, Rapier, Mace, Scepter, Rod, Peasant, Hatchet, Spear, Garterstaff, Hunting Bow, Unarmed, Ruffian, Sabre, Stiletto, Club, Pistol, Blunderbuss, Greatsword, Pike, Warhammer, Arbalest, Arquebus. Unbending. I would really like to give more actual abilities to Eder because he basically only has that knockback, which is very useful, but it's the only thing he can do. The fighter draws strength from his or her own indomitable spirit, causing them to regenerate 50% of endurance lost from an attack. Wait, causing them to regenerate 50% of endurance lost from an attack. and this can be only used 3 per rest. 50% of damage taken converted to healing over time for 15 seconds. This sounds very good for a tank. Confident aim. Steadies the fighter's arm, causing a percentage of their grazes to be converted to hits and increasing the minimum damage for melee weapons. So this is a passive thing. Self, 20% of grazes converted to hits plus 20% minimum damage. So basically he would deal more damage, but this is not too good useful for him because we want him to be at the tank and everyone else deals the damage. Disciplined barrage. The fighter intensely focuses on his or her training, significantly raising accuracy for a short amount of time. Once per encounter. Plus 20% accuracy for 15 seconds. Meh. Clear out. Sweeps the fighter's melee weapon in a large arc, knocking enemies prone and causing crush damage. Prone. Isn't this like stun? Prone's characters can't take action. Dexterity is reduced by 2, reflex and deflection are reduced by 10. 2 times per rest. 4 AoE, 35 to 47 crush damage, 5 meter push, prone for 5 seconds, accuracy plus 10. This actually sounds very nice. Into the fray. The fighter lunges through the battle, pulling an enemy into immediate melee range, causing pierce damage and leaving them dazed. Twice per encounter. I actually like this. This is twice per rest, while this is twice per encounter. So we can do this much more than clear out. Even though I very much like the idea of clear out. Maybe I should pick this one next time. Overbearing guard. The fighter's disengagement attacks have increased accuracy damage and will knock enemies prone. So this is a passive. The fighter's disengagement attacks have increased accuracy. So what does this mean? Does this mean attacks he does when he disengages? That doesn't sound very logical to me. Maybe this means that if an enemy tries to disengage and then Teir hits back and does this overbearing guard thingy. Not entirely sure. Fearless. The fighter is immune to the frightened and terrified afflictions. Passive. This could be very useful as well, but we haven't really run into enemies or such that is doing lots of frightened or terrified things. What's the difference between this anyway? Frightened. Resolve and dexterity are reduced by 2 and accuracy reduced by 10, and terrified. Resolve and dexterity are reduced by 4, accuracy is reduced by 20 for all sources. Overrides frightened. So this is basically a buffed version of frightened. Alright. But I really like this into the fray, so let's pick this. Now maybe next time we take that big cleave attack. Because I really like the sound of that. And then Pallegina. My favorite paladin. Well, second favorite after Prolvia, of course. For you, athletics would make sense, of course. But we can't... Oh wait. Apparently, I guess 9 was... I always forget whether 9 or 10 was the maximum, but whatever the case. Lore would be useful, but then again, survival is not bad either. So I guess I'm gonna put some to survival. Yeah, let's do that and save those 3. Now, what can we give to you? Deprive the unworthy. The paladin temporarily snuffs out all active beneficial effects on a single foe. The effects resume once deprive the unworthy ends, and this is 2 times per rest. Ages of Loyalty. Confused, charmed and dominated characters have severe accuracy penalties when attacking the paladin. Additionally, the paladin's attack against each such targets do minimal damage and always end the effect. Yeah, oh yeah. This I think I read this in the last episode, or was the episode before that, but whatever the case, I like this a lot. Reviving Exhortation. This is the same ability Prolvia has, and I guess it would be pretty damn awesome to have 2 paladins who can basically resurrect a fallen ally during a combat. That would be quite fucking good, actually. But at the same time, I would really like to give something else, so that I don't have basically 2 exact same characters. Liberating Exhortation commands an ally to summon all their strength in order to temporarily ignore existing hostile effects. The effects will resume once Liberating Exhortation ends, and this will last 23 seconds, twice per encounter. Ignore existing hostile effects. This could be very nice too. And even though the idea of having 2 paladins who can revive fallen allies would in every combat once per combat, so we would basically have two reviving exhortations available per combat. That sounds very awesome, but I think I'm gonna go with something else this time, possibly. Sworn enemy. Marks an enemy as the focus of the paladin's retinous fury, granting accuracy and damage bonuses against the target until combat ends or the target goes down. Plus 20% damage and plus 15 accuracy against marked targets. I think I'm gonna go with Sworn enemy for this one, because I want Pallegina to be the more aggressive damage dealer type of paladin with her one-handed, two-handed large badass sword, while Prolvia is supposed to be the support type of character, and hence why I gave her reviving exaltation. So let's go with Sworn enemy with Pallegina. There we go. And then lastly but not least, Durance. For you, lore and athletics would be nice. So let's give you lore, so you can use more high-level scrolls in the future. And that's pretty much it. We got all these spells. Fuck yes. Let's see what are these. Or actually, you know what? Let's read this during the next encounter. That should be more fun. Now, what do we have here? Some gold, nice. Padding this scratchy old cover that thickens the air with dust. No one has used this bed in weeks.
Just say the word.
Okie dokie. And here, there's a stairs upstairs. But before we go there, let's take care of the revenants here. And the skeletal rangers. Actually, Durant, maybe it would be better if you... Oh wait, who am I controlling? Ah, Eder. Oh wait, no I'm not. I don't even know anymore who I'm controlling. Alright, just use your holy fires on those, and you use your spells, and this is actually quite narrow corridor. That might be a problem. Durance, you go there, and Pallegina, you go there.
I'm ready.
This is once per encounter. Oh wait, he's about to die anyway. Let's just go and hit him.
That's it.
Let's use it on this revenant to see what it looks like. All right. I like that fiery effect. It's so cool. And they are down. Got some bows, bones, and a bow, and what do we have here? Some gold and page from Althem's journal. Day 2. We have completed our measurements of the machine, thanks to Trindic's youthful agility. Further examination is required to discover its intended use. And we got some... What was this again? Plus 20%, plus 25% attack speed, plus 20% max entrance for 20 seconds. This sounds fucking awesome. I actually want to give that to Winky, because she got this, which increases her attack speed by 50%, but her endurance is lowered. So I would like to kind of balance that out with a potion, with that potion we just picked up. This one. Yeah, you hold on to this for now. What was this? Plus 89 entrance over 15 seconds. So it's basically a regenerating potion. Oh wait, you have... Oh, you also got this. Well, you know what? Actually, we give this to you, and we give this to Pallegina. What was this? Plus 6? Alright. And some entrance and stuff. Damage reduction. You know what? Actually, no, you got 5 of them. I was about to say that drink that, but there's 5 of it. 5 of them. Alright. And there's still, and we got to remember that we have this ivory worm figure that we can also use. But it's also once per rest, so we can't use it for every combat situation. All right, fair enough.
Just say the word.
And that's pretty much it for now. From this floor, anyway. To the second floor we go. Through the sneak attack ability rogues have... Oh goddammit, don't give me enough time to read them. And we got some... What is this? Potion of deleterious alacrity of motion, plus 50% attack speed. Oh yeah, so yeah, you already have this. One of those. Go to the right formation.
Yes.
Just say the word.
The tanks first. There we go. And where did the potion go? Do these potions stack? Of course they do. There we go.
Yeah. Hey there.
I think Winky, you stay somewhere around. Yep.
Sure.
Just stay there. Stay
Just
there.
say the word.
While we go ahead and charge. Alright, let's test this out. Try to use it on this Darkghoul here. While we focus on this one here. And Brolvia, you focus on that one as well. And let's see what happens. Well, that was a rather cool effect, but I was actually expecting that Teir was like charging towards him. Let's see. Wait, did I already use this twice? That can't be it. Okay. Palutena, didn't I tell you? Well, I guess I didn't tell you to attack. Knock this one down.
Yeah?
There's a Revenant there. And there's more Revenants there. Why did this appear all of a sudden? Oh yeah, I guess. Deal 300 damage to day's enemies with Cured Heaveness Steens to unlock the next level. So, what did I get from this? Or cause the dominated affliction 15 times with Cured Heaveness Steens to unlock the next level. Huh. Alright, so let's see.
Yes.
So do you have... What's this? Creeps Authority. What the hell is this? Accurate melee attack that does crash/slash damage, bypasses some damage reduction and can stun the target. And you got these scrolls, alright, but let's check this real fast. So let's see. Cause the dominated affliction 15 times with Cured Heaveness Steens to unlock the next level. How do I do that? So do I have a special extra ability here? Grief's Authority. It can't be this, is it? I don't know. And it's not. And these are the spells in my Grimoire. So it can't be that. Or maybe I just use it. Or maybe I have to go and actually physically hit someone with this thing. That could also be it. Well, whatever the case.
Just say the word.
We're not gonna pick all these vessel.
Just say the
here.
word.
Let's go up here this time. Buff everyone just in case. And Winky, you go and deal with this Revenant behind. Look at her go. She's nuking everyone. That is a move. Why can't you? I guess someone was in the way because Winky didn't go and attack the target, and she found something. So what do we have here? Scroll of protection, nice, and scroll of restore light entrance. I really need to. I should really use.
Just say the word.
I really should use those scrolls more often. But I just haven't seen any need to do that just yet. Oh wait. Aha, I guess Teir is using Into the Fray automatically by himself, so that's why I used this twice in a row like that. In the last encounter. So that's what it was.
Just say the word.
Easy peasy. The pulling pounding energy in the machine feels even stronger up here. Wait, doesn't this construction look very similar to the one construction we saw in the I don't remember what the place's name was, but at the very beginning of the game, where we first saw the Leaden Key cultists.
Not a problem.
And here we got some gold. And folded page from Altheim's journal. Day 10. Patrons grow impatient with the lack of quantifiable results. They should track themselves out of their mansions and spend a few nights here if they think it's so easy. Yeah. Those damn nobles. Oh, look at that. Sigil of the Arcane. Grants Arcane Dampener once per rest, so this is an ability. So what is this? Foe AoE. Beneficial effects suspended for 15 seconds. Well, it's not too crazy, but it's something. Alright, so we're gonna take that. And another letter from Ikanta. Ikanta? Who was that? That's familiar name. Was Ikanta that one crazy weird lady from that other house in Heritage Hill where she was keeping some people as her prisoners or whatever, and we've freed them? I think that's her, but I don't remember. Altheim, I did indeed receive your recent summons, as well as the two that came before it. I had been waiting for you to present yourself on my doorstep so that I could give you my answer in person, a firm and unwavering no. I won't help you. In fact, I relish the idea of you and your team of glorified engineers sitting in that tower, sweating over the runes I have studied for years. Nothing gives me greater pleasure than knowing that my research, which you have long disparaged, is the missing piece in your mundane little puzzle. As you well know, it's knowledge I have always valued. I'm just around the corner. I encourage you to find me should you wish to rehash this conversation in person. Yours truly, Ikanta. Maybe we need to go back to her and get some of that research in order to continue. But now, with that ring... where was it again? There. I think we... You already got this. I guess we might as well give this to Aloth so he got a ring of his own. There we go.
Just say the word.
Is there more? More revenants, zombies or anything? Well, there's stairs though. Oh, there's stairs there. Anything here? Fireball scroll and up. Let's read that real fast. Page from Altheim's journal. Day 11. Finally got out of the tower to clear our heads. Beasts take the patrons. We'll finish the study on our own terms, our own time. Just as I said as much to Trindic, the sky came to life with stray lightning. I said it's a good omen, but the poor lad spooked. Only cure for that is a good night's sleep. Alright. And lastly, what about these bookshelves? Atment Hatred Part 1, Rise to Power. I don't think I have read this, but let's read this. Little cloud one know that the man who once destroyed part of his own country with fire would become the Teirwood's most beloved leader. Martyred in the war he started to free his people from an oppressive rule. There isn't a Teirwooden who doesn't know of or revere Atmet for what he did. Strangely, even though there are records of his father, Edrang's childhood, and even though he was raised in nobility in the Teirwood, while it was still Aedur territory, information about Atment's early years is nearly impossible to find. Atment is not known for his childhood, though. He is known for saving the Teirwood and uniting it with its sworn enemy, the Clan Fathans. In 2652 AI, the Teirwooden troubles with their Fercunune. I think Fercunune was the name for the first king of Aedur or something like that. Were at a boiling point. Several of the earls under Edrang's rule, provoked by the imperial court in Aedur, resumed looting the ruins around Teirwood that the Clan Fathans held sacred. When the Clan Fathans finally retaliated, it was overwhelmingly brutal and resulted in a slave uprising. Galvin Regt, whom Endrag had fought before, resumed control of the Clan Fathan troops. Regt was also able to convince some Delemgan to join the fight. Etrang was at this point far too old to lead his forces into battle, so he sent his son Admet in his place to contain the threat. Admet, true to form as the son of Etrang, and obviously having learned tactics from his father, made a dangerous but effective tactical decision. In order to prevent Rect's troops from using the woods as cover and to keep them from advancing through his land, set fire to the forest at tributary of the Iskeur River and positioned his troops to prevent any of the Clanfathan's forces from retreating. This tactic proved to be effective. While some Clanfathans and Telekman were able to escape, thousands died. In the skirmish that followed, Galven Rekt was captured and sent to be held near Eomar. Atmet was able to do what his father spent decades trying to do. He stopped Galven Rekt. The conflict with the Clanfathans continued for several months, and Atmet repeated the scorch earth tactic several times to flush the opposing forces from key battlefields. He was able to bring the conflict to an end before the year ended. While it was a win for the Deerwoodens, it was very costly as well. Because of these tactics, the conflicts earned the name the War of Black Trees. I think we have heard the term War of Black Trees before. After Etrang's death in 2654, Atment became the Gref of the Deerwood to the dismay of the imperial court and the other earls. Over the course of the next year, they defined his rule at every turn, rebuking his decrees and countermanding his directives. In 2655 AI, Atment had enough. Even though he lacked support from most of the earls, he was admired by both the valiant dukes and all the common folk. Backed by his support, he issued an ultimatum for the Ferkunung to anoint him a Grief Platine. The Ferkunung, unwilling to deal with a rebellion while trying to establish a new Vorlas trade in Red Keras, agreed. Atmet then held authority and legal power over the earls, their holdings and their titles. The Deerwood was no longer a Grifram, but instead was Palatinate. I don't know how to spell that. This change reduced the Ferkunung's power over the region. With his new power, Atment quickly brought the rebellious earls into line. But in exchange for the power, Atment invested time and money into all of the Deerwooden's ports and trade posts, dramatically increasing shipping traffic. This helped the earls and brought in more money for the Ferkunung. Some of these goddamn names and titles. That was interesting bit of lore there. And here we got some peridots and copper band. And copper. Yeah. How much money we got now? 31 grand. Nice. We are so freaking rich. And by the way, we can't hire any more hirelings, but what are we building now? I kind of forgot. Wait, are we not building anything? Well, damn. Alright, so what should we build next? The towers of Kaitnu are standing high above of the walls of Stronghold. Upgrading the towers will grant a perception bonus when resting at Pride Hollow. This lasts 3 days though. I would like to build something that doesn't take very long. Bailey. How long does the Bailey last? 2 days. Courier shop. That would also be nice. Artificer's hole. I could buy some traps and receive a mechanics bonus when resting at Pride Hollow. I could purchase scrolls from the chapel, but I have so many scrolls already that I don't think that we need to build a chapel just yet. You know what? Let's build the Bailey so we can actually build this other stuff that requires a Bailey. So let's build this. There we go. And then to the 3rd floor. Oh, I guess there weren't any more floors than that.
Let's try this configuration. Still nothing. Confounded device.
Oh hey, look at that. It's the it's the exact same looking construction than in. Alright, what was the goddamn place name? Silant Lis. Yeah, like as you can see, it's the exact same looking thing. So they had one of those in this very city as well. Interesting. Standing near the device feels like being blown about by a storm gale. The stone steps hum with energy, and there is Althelm, whose journals we have been reading all this time. And there's some sort of a stone there as well. A man hunches over the strange mechanism, his spine a sharp ridge rising from his arched back. He's barely clothed in filthy rags, and the patches of skin you see are mottled green. A spoiled stench emanates from him. What? Is he an undead? He's so intent on his work that he doesn't notice you until your shadow falls over him. When he turns and sees you, he snarls and scuttles behind the Aethra pedestal. Only his bared teeth seem to have escaped decay. His eyes are yellowed and bloodshot, but they flicker with intelligence. He averts his gaze and holds a hand in front of his face.
Shouldn't be here. What do you want?
I'm gonna go with the aggressive option, because that's what it's supposed to be. Aggressive, as a Bleakwalker Paladin. Give me a reason not to cleave you in half.
I'm so close. I can figure it out. Reverse the mechanism. I just need time. Time and...
He doubles over coughing, and when he looks back at you, his teeth flash for a brief moment.
Research. We came to do research. On the tower. Some commission from... Gods, it hardly matters now.
Aloth's lips twist in disgust. If I had a copper skewed for every fool animancer whose thirst for knowledge led to a disaster, well, I never would have ended up in Gilded Vale, that's for sure. Keep talking, Atman, or stick to the present. When did the disaster start? Rational option. That has nothing to do with the death in the streets. Focus. Passionate. That which is something about what we don't want. Whatever happened, I just need you to give me the facts, please. Which is diplomatic, and that's also not something what we want. It's also something what we don't want, because that's our disfavored disposition. So let's just be neutral here. Keep talking, Althelm.
Something happened on our 11th night. Lights in the sky and a static charge in the air. But we were so careful. We were staying in the chambers below. Trindig, my assistant, said he saw a robed figure lurking around the tower. Wore a mask.
Let him keep.
Carried knives at his sides. A trick of shadows, I told him. The next morning we felt strange. Like we hadn't eaten in weeks. So dazed that we didn't at first notice the blood around our beds. The strange wounds that had appeared overnight.
Oh my.
And the machine. This cursed spire. Dormant for 2,000 years. Lifeless through hundreds of our experiments. And we wake that morning to find it spinning on its own. On its own! How can we stop what we couldn't start? Years I've been doing this. Years. I know how these things work. But I don't know how this happened. Nowhere to go. That's the problem. Their souls are trapped here like flies in a jar, clinging to rotting meat.
Slow down. What does the machine have to do with souls? Or, you do seem like you would know a thing or two about flies, which is kind of clever, but we are going to stay in character. Get to the point fast.
I am trying. I've studied contraptions like this for years, and still the most basic elements elude me.
He looks at you and runs his tongue along the edges of his fine, strong teeth. He quickly looks away.
It has the power to manipulate souls, but why? For what? And how many others lie buried in the ruins of Erglanfath? No. Focus on this one. It's imprisoned our souls in our bodies. cut the root between essence and flesh, left a dwindling soul stuck in a shriveling husk.
How can I help? There was a stranger in the tower the night this appeared. This happened. You're not like the ghouls in the street. What happened to the rest of your team? There was a stranger in the tower the night this happened.
I didn't see him. My assistant, he saw him. We laughed. Said he was spooked by the cemetery. Perhaps it was already too late. I don't know what he did. But by morning the machine was on and we were slain. People were already on the streets, complaining of neighbors and family members acting strangely.
And you are not like the ghouls in the street.
Not yet. But I will be. My body is dead. My soul, imprisoned in this corpse, only makes it seem otherwise. And as the body decays, so does the mind. Until nothing is left but the hunger. The only way to forestall the process is through a regular infusion of essence. Living flesh is the only ready supply.
Aha, so that's why Ikantha down there was having those prisoners in her home. One shaky hand scratches at his bare sore-eaten chest. I am not proud of any of it. Hunting men and women in the early days of the affliction. Picking off soldiers that came to investigate. But I would do it again. I'll do it as long as I must to end this disaster.
You could help. Help me end this. Help me find sustenance.
And what happened to the rest of your team? By the time I realized what had happened, the district had already been sealed. So we fed when we needed and locked ourselves in the tower to work. And then there came a time when the hunger struck and there was hardly anyone left. So you basically started eating each other like cannibals. Alright. And how can I help?
Not your help I need. It's Harridan, shrew. Squanders her research on frivolities, then refuses to make herself useful. Runes! The runes are the last part of the puzzle. Ikantha knows them. She gives them to you, and you can turn the machine off. Release our souls.
Aha, so we do need to go back to Ikantha. She wasn't here the night the machine came on, staying with her patron somewhere near. Too good to be burdened with our ignorant company. I'll get the words from Ikantha. If Ikantha knows the control words, then I don't see why I need... If Ikantha knows the control words, then I don't see why I need your help. That's a good point.
I help you, yes. You bring me the words and something to keep me strong. Then I show you a secret about the machine. Something to make you strong. Ikantha was here. In Heritage Hill. Must be here still. Clever lady, that one.
Will he accept 2 runs? Alright, so... I need to speak with Ikantha in Heritage Hill. She apparently knows something important about the tower, which may be my key to understand the Ledenski's objectives. That would explain why the Acolyte was worried about this woman. Wait. So the Acolyte we learned about in Temple of Woedica mentioned about Ikantha? I don't recall that. But whatever the case, I'll tell him that the evolving animancers atop the tower promised to show me a way to strengthen myself if I get the command words from Ikantha and the source of sustenance for him. Something tells me that we have to look for some meat for him. And can we do anything with this? A jagged Aethra pillar rises in front of you, encased in stonework and run through with copper veins. Unintelligible runes cover the panel. Inspect the machine. A sunburst of copper filament surrounds a dial that looks to be about twice the size of a hen's egg. The filaments cross and diverge, ending in bead-tipped nodes. Each wire has a point of origin somewhere along the edge of the dial. Runes are inscribed around the dial. Well, let's turn it. And nothing happens. Alright. So we need to go back down there to that house where Ikanta is and have a little chat with her. So I guess we have to do just that, so be right back. And here we are. So, Ikanta, I need your research.
You return. What have you come seeking this time?
I need the words that operate the Engwithen machine in the tower, or I saw you in a vision, there's something you need to do for me. Yeah, let's go with this.
Believe me, I've heard that line before. It's rude to stare, you know. Don't worry. I've no mind to start anything with you. After all, I've stayed in such good shape by choosing my meals carefully.
Well, alright. I need the words that operate the Engwithen machine in the tower.
That fool Aldhelm. He sent you, didn't he? I can hardly believe he's had the cleverness to survive. That simpleton thinks he can understand how to use something without understanding what it is, or why it is.
She laughs, a noise that blends the crunch of dry leaves with something piercing the white hot. You feel a hot core of pride smoldering at the center of her soul.
He dabbles with ancient and powerful devices, with all the finesse of a blacksmith. He sends you here to petition me for aid after years of disparaging my research. I'll bet he didn't even tell you the tower's name, did he? That's his problem. Always looking for solutions without caring for meaning.
The problem and hate at Chill are bigger than your rivalry, Ikanta. Passionate? Screw that. Humble Aldhelm now by demonstrating the value of your research. Diplomatic and we don't want this one at all. Well, passionate is not really something. Well, passionate is we could go with passionate. It doesn't go against our favorite dispositions, but then again, I don't really care about the lives of these people, so screw them. Tell me the tower's name.
Teir Nowneth. It's called Teir Nowneth.
Teir Nowneth, huh?
They built the machine atop it to contain souls, hold them in place. But the others I've seen, machines scattered all over the Deerwood, are relays, built to move souls.
Interesting. How do you operate a machine atop Teir Nowneth? I already forgot how you spell it. Where would they move souls? You seem to know a lot about Teir Nowneth. Well, she did have her own research. Why would the Engwithens have wanted to tether souls like this? Where would they move souls?
Another mystery. Hypothetically, anywhere they wished. The real question, as always, is why? To intermix them the way a player shuffles his deck, the way a farmer rotates his fields? To collect them like butterflies under glass? To melt them down for raw essence? Unfortunately, I don't know.
You seem to know a lot about Teir Nowneth, however you spell it.
I read the runes like a journal. I understand their meaning. People like Aldhelm try to read them like instructions, and in so doing, they miss their true meaning completely.
And why would the Engwithens have wanted to tether souls like this? Well, she doesn't know, but might as well ask.
Perhaps they didn't. Perhaps that's why they built no other machines like this one. We now see the Engwithens as masters of soul manipulation, but they couldn't have attained their expertise without copious trial and error. Perhaps this was one such experiment.
Interesting. So, how do you operate the machine atop Teir Nowneth?
Back to these tinkers' concerns. And what would you do with these tethered souls if I told you?
I would release them. I would harvest them for essence. Yeah, I like that idea. I would destroy them. I don't know yet. Well, we go with this because we're supposed to be cruel. I would harvest them for essence.
And so give their existence purpose. But what kind, I wonder?
I could help you, but I won't. The pride lodged in her soul flares up, twisting into the shape of something that writhes and squeals within her. Here, I have specimens aplenty and time enough to observe them all. It's every scientist's dream. My answer is no. But we did already release your specimens. Assuming that you were referring to those people in this room here. You are dead. Why does any of this matter? Oh yeah, she's undead too. The fate of these trapped souls is more important. Let's try to extinguish Ikantas's pride. The vampire, I guess that's what they call these people, vampire. The vampire doesn't seem to notice as you wrap your mind around the squelling burning mass. However, it sears your very bones. You jump back crying out in pain. I won't abandon this opportunity. These souls will remain here, with me, and I'll accomplish more than any animals in the history of the field. Ah, so you have souls trapped, stored somewhere here, so that's what you meant by specimens. And who will know about it? Hoarding knowledge is pointless. Let's just go with this. And who will know about it? The bright thing flickers as the flames around it abate. All I have learned. Years of studying the Engwithing language. No one understands it better than me. That counts for something. Knowledge is meaningless unless it's shared. Benevolent, that's something what we don't want to pick. Your opportunities here are finite. One day that knowledge will die with you. But what use is it? Let's try to extinguish it again. You force your essence around a burning lump inside her, but it scorches you. Your flesh is whole and unmarked when you draw back, but it nevertheless stings at the memory of the heat. Well, but what use is it? Her pride rages inside her. Useless! Why must something so pure be fashioned into a blunt instrument? Well, guess we're gonna go with irrational, because we are definitely not gonna go with benevolent. Your opportunities here are finite. One day that knowledge will die with you. The bride hisses and sputters. It's little more than an ember now. You are wrong, but there's no conviction in her voice. I'll build it forever. I'll cling to it. That will give me something. Maybe now we can extinguish it, but what are these other options? Teach me what you know, and I'll make sure that it grows and your legacy lives on. I really care about that. Will that really be enough for you? Let's try to extinguish it. You reach for it, but it's still too hot to grasp in your mind for more than a second. It may not be much, but it's still something. You can't take that away from me. Will that really be enough for you? The dying cinder clings to life. It will. It must be. Well, I guess we just pick this. Teach me what you know. I'll make sure that it grows and your legacy lives on. Your words finally quench her pride, and all that remains is a blackened diamond heart rock. You cast it away, where it melts into the darkness.
So be it. My studies and efforts shall grow through yours.
Yeah, sure.
These are the words you need.
Her cold, dry fingertips rest on your temples, and you feel her reaching into your mind, forming images from the darkness. Runes flash through your head, but they are no longer just pictures. They have meaning, and you understand them. They are commands. Something triggers in your mind, a distant memory unearthed from a past life, long since buried. You can see a vast array of runes, far more than Ikantha has shown you, and you know their sound and their meaning and how they fit together. The language of Engwith once more at your command.
Something has awakened in your mind. You understand far more than I ever did. Take this knowledge then, and do what you will with Teir Nowneth. Now that you understand its purpose, it will serve you in whatever way you wish.
Cool. Certainly. What do I do with the tower now that I know these words? You said the other towers around Teirwood were constructed to move souls. Why would the Inquitins have wanted to do that? Well, we kind of already asked that. Remind me, how do you know so much about the tower? Don't need to remind us. I still don't understand why the Inquitins would want to build a machine that tethers souls. Basically the same questions as before, but in a different format. What do I do with the tower now that I know these words?
Turn it off, I expect. That will be easy now that you can read the runes. The vessels would still roam, but striking them down would return their essence to the cycle. But be careful. That machine controls hundreds of souls, and that volume of essence could easily overload it. Improperly channeling the essence would destroy the machine along with the souls. It would be a terrible loss for posterity.
Indeed it would. I don't know, destroying it seems like it might do this place some good. Thanks for your input, Teir. I think that's all then, thanks. Alright, and then deal with the Inquisition machine. Now that I can understand the Inquisition language, I can return to machine at the top of Teir Nowneth and do something about the curse affecting Heritage Hill. Okie dokie. So back to the tower we go. And here we are. Now, I guess we can have one more chat with Aldhelm before we try to do anything with this thing by ourselves. Aldhelm looks much worse than before. His rotten flesh hangs loosely, and sores have eaten away patches of skin at his joints. He looks at you with a strange glimmer in his eyes.
Flesh.
He takes a tentative scuttling step towards you. So he has turned into a zombie then. He doubles over, coughing up strings of black bile. He seems to have forgotten about you for the moment. When Aldhelm looks at you this time, all trace of recognition is gone. He bares his teeth and sleeps at you, his pupils narrowed to pinpricks. Well, I guess we are gonna fuck him up then.
Hey.
Knock him down.
Hey there. Shut.
Well, he was rather tough to take down, considering that Winky didn't just freaking murder him instantly. But yeah, that was perhaps the prime example of how bad the pattern of this game can sometimes be. I mean, there's all this space, and yet none of the characters here actually went around Teir to flank him. I had to manually move Winky myself. So yeah, that's a bit annoying. Aldhelm's journal. Ikanta insists on pursuing her own research on the tower, despite my argument that pooling our knowledge is in both our interests. With her expertise in the Inquisition language, I'm convinced that she knows more about the tower's workings than she lets on. And you were right about that.
Yeah.
All right, now let's use this. A Chakra Atra pillar rises in front of you, encases in stonework and run through with copper veins. The panel is covered with runes, which you can now understand. You recognize words for end and for hold. The dial is correctly fixed on hold. You also recognize by an inscription that the manner in which you turn the dial is a means of throttling the device. Choose end, or maximize the channels. Maximize the machine's throttle in hopes of overloading the device. I don't really care for overloading it and blowing up or anything. Let's choose end and see what happens. As the command words leave your lips, the dial sinks into the Atra under your hand. Something like a thunderclap sounds overhead. The glow fades from the machine as it falls dormant. Defiance Bay, major positive. Alright. So we just turn off the machine. A curse of cold clay rewards 25% experience, remembrance of life's warmth, 500 to 1000 copper in treasure, average item, expires in 2 days and duration 3 turns. 3 turns. All across the eastern reach, people are being buried in graveyards and returning from the dead as vampires. So basically those undead dudes like Ikanta. Examination by locals have revealed that animancers had tampered with several gravesites prior to the burial. Local lords have released bounties for the capture of whoever is responsible. Unfortunately, the rapid spread of the events leads many to believe that a group, not a single individual, is behind the experiments. So we can assign someone. Let's assign Zagani for this one. Zagani is assigned. Alright. And I can... Let's see. So this time I have actually assigned Zagani. Yeah, I think I just... Yeah, she is gone now. I hope. Alright, so I guess that was pretty much it. We could have also overloaded the damn thing and blown this entire tower up, but I didn't really see any reason to do just that. I didn't see any reason to blow this entire tower with it or anything. Well, assuming that the explosion would have been powerful enough to blow the tower. But yeah, what is done is done.
Not a problem.
I actually kind of hope that I could have drained the powers of the tower for myself and become more powerful that way. That would have been so fucking awesome. Anyway, let's just go to the bottom. And we are... Oh! What's that? Dinrut Row Messenger. Beg your pardon, I have a message for you. You are summoned to Hatred House, where Lady Webb wishes to meet with you as soon as possible. Oh yeah, I think I know who Lady Webb is. They say she's an ancient spider, spinning her nets throughout the city. He gives you a careful look. If she wishes to see you, that either body is very well or very ill. I'm quite sure that she is not literally a spider. How did you know where to find me? Well, it's Lady Webb. She knows everything. Ah, so she's basically a information broker kind of a type. Tell me about Lady Webb. Do you not know Lady Webb? She is, well, no one's seen her exactly in a long time, but she is the mistress of Dinrut Row. Has been for as long as anyone can remember. He pauses, eyeing a passerby with suspicion. Quietly he continues. She is supposed to be old, older than anybody, and she never leaves her room. Some say she's wasted away and she's just a pile of bones kept animated by dark magics. She is still at it, best anyone can tell, learning things, keeping us safe, pulling the strings behind the throne too, it's said. He has a ring of ciphers doing her bidding, telling her everything that goes on. You do wrong in this country before you go asking the gods for forgiveness. Best you ask Lady Webb first. What's Dinrut Row? A whole mess of ciphers run out of Hatred House. They make it their business to keep the peace, but they don't like you to see them do it. Problems in this city have a way of going away on their own, and when that happens, you can make a pretty good guess as to why. And where can I find Hatred House, even though I know where it is, but might as well ask. In Brackenbury, my lady, the southwest corner. Yeah, I knew that. Very well then. Okie dokie, so I guess we go talk to Lady Webb then. But I wonder, maybe should I end this episode here or? You know what? Let's just go and have a little chat with Lady Webb before we end this episode. Oh, the tower, it's off. Does this mean the curse of Hatred Hill is lifted? It wasn't a curse, but yes, the district is safe again. I guess I just moved the dial around on the machine in the tower. Defiance Bay owns me. I would better get a manor in Brackenbury for this. But then again, we do have our own manor and we do have our own stronghold and everything. So I don't know if we would actually need a manor, but you know what, let's just say this anyway. Defiance Bay owns me. Well, that's not for me to decide, but I'm sure the city will see you are well rewarded. Yeah, they better. But now, to Brackenbury. Okie dokie, and Hatred's house is somewhere here. Yeah, it's here. I remember this correctly. From my first playthrough of this game. Oh! Older robed man. As you near the apparition, you are overcome suddenly by a powerful anxiety that sits like a stone in your stomach. The feeling is not quite real, the recollection of an emotion rather than the emotion itself. It wrenches your insides nevertheless. The apparition's brow is tensed, a look of concern plain across its face.
The other missionaries say you have been neglectful of your duties.
My mind has been elsewhere. They lie. My mind has been elsewhere.
Oh? And what troubles you?
The pain in your stomach deepens and you feel for a moment as though you are about to be sick. Your mouth has gone dry. Forgive me, Eminence, I wish to leave the order. The man holds his fingers together and presses them to his mouth, thoughtful.
You have been an apt student, and your convictions have inspired those around you. May I ask what has changed to make you feel this way?
The people we intended to convert, they committed unspeakable acts, sacrifices, mutilations. My family has not taken my new faith well, they no longer speak to me. I have done something unforgivable. We were attacked on my last mission. I guess we go with the first one. They committed unspeakable acts, sacrifices, mutilations. The apparition exhales slowly, and its lips press together, a sympathetic rapport in its eyes. It places its hand on your shoulder.
These are the ways of the heathen world.
Surely the gods would do better to destroy us all and start anew.
Perhaps they would. It may come to that one day. This is why we must not fail. The heathens are beyond the gods' reach. They do not know better. We are tasked with delivering them to the gods, so that the gods may heal their souls.
Is such a thing possible?
I have seen it with my own eyes. You will see it too, if you choose to remain.
Something tells me that he's not being quite honest with me. Actually, I think that he's just lying straight to our face. Claiming that he has seen it with his own eyes. I'm not buying it.
There is no greater calling than the one we have chosen. Neither words, nor wealth, nor battle will end this suffering. Only the gods. Will you give them that chance?
The knot in your stomach seems to loosen all at once, and the anxiety is replaced with something else entirely, something warm and soothing, and it is something you know you can never repay. As the vision fades, you start to become cognizant of the many odd looks aimed in your direction. Your last response echoes in your mind. I will. Well, that was interesting.
Good day, stranger.
Oh, what now? Excuse me, but I have been looking for you. You are the one who lifted the curse on Heritage Hill. Yeah, that was me, alright. My lady, who wishes to remain anonymous, has entrusted me with bringing you this pistol. It belonged to a dear friend of hers who was lost to the curse. For your part in reclaiming Heritage Hill, my lady wishes you to have it. Here, may it serve you well in battle. Thank you. I wonder how much I could get for selling this. Well, that's a bit rude. Is this all? I had expected more, especially considering that we don't exactly use pistols ourselves. I am but a courier and only do what I'm asked. Well, fair enough. You have gained item. Signed Garam Spark added to inventory. Now I must be off. Farewell. There we go. Let's go back to normal mode. Now, let's take a look at this pistol we just got. It's this, I take it. Yeah. Signed Gram Spark. It looks cool, alright. Value 1000 coppers. Very slow speed though. Damage 27 to 30, from 37 pierce damage, plus 10 accuracy gain. Granted to an ally attacking the same target. Interesting. 25% shock damage. Fuck yes. 6 damage reduction bypass. This looks very fucking good actually. Who could use it? Palagina got hers. This is also rather good, but not as good as this, I would say. Let's see, what's the lore of this thing? Saint Garam was a priest of Hylia, known for his mastery of the art of wordplay. It was said that he could shape the mood of a crowd with a single word. and find with cruel precision the most shocking turn of phrase with which to dismantle an opponent. One more whimsical daughter of the Deerwood had this pistol crafted in his honor for the gun, too, she said, could put an end to any debate. Definitely. And what about this? Forgiveness. Keel was a constable in the small Deerwooden village of Maiden Falls, a good man who fulfilled his duties honorably. He often found himself in violent confrontation with passing ruffians and mercenaries, and come to the village to exploit the nearby ruins. Weary, with a boy's face and an awkward gait, offenders rarely took Keel seriously. They would mock him, telling him there was no way he was going to take them to jail. "You are right," Keel would reply. "I bring forgiveness." And which is a gun's name. Alright. So this does... The damage difference is not that big, but I would say that this is still a bit better. But I was thinking whether I should... Maybe I should give... Let's switch guns for a moment. Let's see what this gun looks like. Holy fuck, look at that. Now that's fucking awesome. So yeah, you take that, and I think I'm gonna give this... Do you have anything? Well, this is range anyway, so there's no point to give you this this gun. I didn't know that you had a rod. It says two-handed. This thing is a two-handed, it looks like a wand. Well, whatever. I guess I'm gonna just give this to Winky. Now you get a pistol as well. So with that way, so with this, in case there ever comes more situations where I simply can't move Winky to melee range and actually kill people with her daggers and stilettos, I can switch to forgiveness, and she can deal some range damage from afar. So yeah, that sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Alright, let's now finally go in there and have a little chat with Lady Webb before we end this episode. Or actually... Actually, let's have the chat with Lady Webb in the next episode after all. So much time has passed, and I do not want to make this episode accidentally as long as I made the last one. The last one became a bit too long. But yeah, I'm gonna end this episode here, and in the next one we're gonna have a little chat with this Lady Webb and see what she wants with us, and after that I don't know, we'll see. But now, thank you for watching once again, and see you next time for more Pillars of Eternity.